Right into the action, we're looking at Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is following everything that I've talked about prior here in terms of the near term. We talked about this channel being slightly bullish. We talked about the inverse head and shoulders being potentially bullish as well. There was your breakout. Target one would be right up to that level. We are approaching that $69,000 level now, all right? So we're trading at $67,000 and change. I would be somewhat surprised if we don't at least touch 69. Then the big test becomes, can it break out above this level? And again, for me, a lot of whether or not it breaks out is going to be how does the stock market react? And I know a lot of people in crypto, they don't want to have it tied to the risk asset markets, but honestly it is. I mean, if you look at when the stock market topped and when Bitcoin topped, it literally was within a week of the top on each. I mean, that's when they both topped. So there's no doubt that that's the case. The only bump, like if you're a bear on Bitcoin, the only bump you could make would be that the NASDAQ and S&P are hitting new all-time highs and Bitcoin isn't. But Bitcoin sometimes can lag a little bit and it can play catch-up. Now, the one thing on the bearish side that as a technical trader you want to be aware of is that if you ever break this down here, this down-sloping line that you can see, it hit it here, and it hit it here. If this ever breaks right here and you start trading below that, that would be a breakdown of the bullish pattern, and that would be a negative. But as long as you stay within here, it's net neutral to positive, and any sort of break above here, I think you honestly head to 74 and maybe even higher than that.
Wait a minute, everyone. Welcome to Bitcoinzilla, your platform for daily cryptocurrency analysis and news. Our mission is to keep it simple. Bitcoinzilla offers engaging information that is easy to understand. Our analysts keep their eyes on the latest news to provide valuable insights via email. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Join our community of 10,000 subscribers and experience the new edge with Bitcoinzilla. Subscribe now. Let's join Gareth in this interview about Bitcoin and more.
Ethereum is just staying in a beautiful wedge pattern right here. Again, all we're doing here is taking these lows going back here to these lows here, all the way through these lows in this vicinity. That gives us our baseline for if we break down, we know it breaks down below that level. And then from here at the top right here, if we break above here, then you get a breakout on the chart. And you could start, honestly, you could probably trade back to this pivot here and then maybe back to here. So those would be your two upside resistance levels on Ethereum. One chart, I did take a trade over the weekend with some Smart Money crypto members here. So again, you guys know I run Smart Money Crypto. I have Smart Money Commodities and Miners. If you're into commodities and action there, lots of good opportunities in commodities right now. We'll take a look at that. And then Smart Money Stocks and ETFs. And so you have your pick and choose of whatever you're into. But one of the trades that I took over the weekend was a short on Chainlink here. And I'll just show you why, right? So number one, you just look at this chart, right? And if you look at this, we have this high, right through here, you broke out, and then you kind of came close to it here, close to it here, close to it here, here, and here before breaking below. So just pure and simple. You guys know I love to keep things simple because that's how I comprehend best, frankly, is that if price had come back up to here, what's the idea, right? I mean, we know when it was below, it would get rejected, right? When it was above, it would bounce, right? So then the idea is that just keep it simple. If it comes back to that line, it should get rejected and pushed back down. Now, remember, I'm a swing trader, so this means nothing about where Chainlink is in a month, 2 months, 6 months from now. I honestly couldn't care less. But the point being is, as a trader, this would be a pullback level. We got in above $17. It's already back to $16.47. It's just playing the probabilities in the short term, and that's what I love to do, folks. And I know if you're watching this, you probably are intrigued by it as well. So nice little so far in the money trade from Smart Money Crypto. Hopefully we'll continue to see that play out in our favor. Looking at gold here, guys. Let's go to the gold daily chart. Now, gold was interesting because this morning what we saw in the overnight, I should say, was gold pushing to new all-time highs. But as of now, it's being rejected. Now, remember, we have a topping tail here, and we pierced the topping tail. But I have a question. Are we going to form another topping tail? In which case, if you don't close above this one doesn't negate this one. And if we close correctly, like if we close in the lower 25%, you get a secondary topping tail here, which actually could be very, very bearish for gold. Now, again, short term, remember, I'm a huge long-term, mid-term bull on gold. I still think it's going well north of 2,500 this year. But again, I'm just letting the chart tell me. I've got to watch this candle. Does it create a topping tail today? I will keep you guys posted. Maybe trading the close today. We'll look at that as well.
This debate highlights the ongoing tensions between Bitcoin advocates and traditional finance critics, reflecting broader discussions within the financial community. Ethereum's Tancred Feist and Helios Labs CEO Mert Mumtaz clash on social platform X over the importance of decentralization, revealing differing views on the crypto market's priorities. According to the latest data, 62 blockchain or cryptocurrency projects have collectively raised $474 million over the past 20 days of May. Leading the charge, the entertainment-focused blockchain project Soften garnered $60 million in a node sale, with Securitized following closely, raising $47 million.
Now, here's again a chart of silver. Silver surged north of $32 per ounce. It has pulled back. As of now, if it closed here, this would not be a topping tail. It might even confirm the breakout, so we have to watch this very closely. I'll watch it throughout the day as well. But amazing move on silver, guys. And again, that $30 breakout level was a big one. I mean, to break above 30 is significant, but I do want to see confirmation of that move. Natural gas continues to push up. It's up a little bit today, not a big move. The biggest thing to me on natural gas is watching the 618. I think I talked about it with you guys last week in the game plan. If we take the high to the lows, the 618 Fibonacci retrace is this one right here, right? So this line right here, I'm trying to draw it as accurately as I can, and that's got to be that next resistance. So I'm short a little natural gas, but I'm just inching in little by little. This is what I do because I build that position slowly because of these sort of scenarios, especially with natural gas. They call it the widowmaker for a reason because both ways it can go way further down, way further to the upside than anyone thinks. But for me, this is my next ad level at the 618 Fibonacci retrace, taking that high to these recent lows, and that would be the 618. It's right around, I think it's right around 285, give or take just a little bit. All right, guys. Lastly, oil. We won't forget about oil here. Oil continues to trade in a bear flag pattern formation. So as of now, we can see this low here. Let's bring up those drawing tools. So we have this low through these lows, and notice how price fell and is now doing this. That's a classic bear flag if you know what to look for here. And for me, even if it went up a little bit more like this, eventually I've got to be in the camp, at least per the chart, just letting the chart speak to me, I'm in the camp that eventually this rolls over. And honestly, it makes a lot of sense. If the U.S. economy is truly getting weaker, then it does make a lot of sense that we could be in for some downside action on oil.
Bitcoin is facing renewed calls for a supply shock as exchange reserves hit 7-year lows. BTC price action focuses on final resistance levels. Russian President Vladimir Putin charged against the U.S. actions, seeking to block Russian payments to China and other countries. During a 2-day trip to China, the Russian leader emphasized that this strategy was really stupid and a huge mistake, considering that these actions affected the status of the U.S. dollar as a reserve currency. Bitcoin is trading at $67,224, reflecting a strong market performance. The cryptocurrency has experienced a 24-hour range between $66,000 and $67,431, with a market capitalization of $1.32 trillion and a trading volume of $21.18 billion. Ethereum's price has been exhibiting a narrow intraday range between $3,048 and $3,139, with a market capitalization of $373 billion and a 24-hour trading volume of $9.83 billion. The cryptocurrency shows a mixed technical outlook. At 7:57 Eastern Daylight Time on Monday, Ether is exchanging hands for just under $3,100 at $3,093 per unit. With Bitcoin's price up 6.8% from last week, a dormant Bitcoin address from 2013 became active for the first time in over 11 years, transferring 114.42 Bitcoins valued at $7.67 million. This week, Bitcoin appreciated over 6% against the US dollar, while Ether increased more than 3% in the same period. Meanwhile, more than 12 alternative cryptocurrencies saw double-digit gains between 10% and 33.4%. The Nigerian securities regulator has stated that cryptocurrency exchanges have complied with the directive to remove the local currency from peer-to-peer platforms. The acting director general of the Nigerian Securities and Exchange Commission has called on platforms engaged in practices that undermine the national interest to cease such activities. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.